So the second gift of sobriety is hope. Uh, and truly, an existence without hope is not something I would ever return to again. There have definitely been points of time in my life where I didn't have hope. And it's one of those things that may come and go out of your life. But if this time around it's overstaying its welcome, it might be time to make a change. So by the end of my run with drugs and alcohol, I had no hope in any facet of my life. That's why they would call it a rock bottom. My marriage had fallen apart. My career had fallen apart. My housing situation had fallen apart. The relationship with my families had fallen apart. And there was literally no hope in any direction. And so I knew I was ready for sobriety because the pain of staying the same was actually greater than radical change.
Mm,
So, radical change wasn't even painful at that point because daily existence was that painful. I mean, it had to be, otherwise, I wouldn't have been wanting to use as much as I did.
hmm
So when you go into sobriety, when you're at the bar and you're talking about, what we should do? We should do a girls' trip. You know what I should do? I should learn sign language. You know what I should do? I'd really love it if my husband and I would reconnect on a trip to Vegas. And your life has become a long line of almost and used tos. Your language is negative. Using almost and used to is such defeating language that none of your plans are going to go anywhere.
hmm
So, in sobriety, you will be surprised at how much time appears out of nowhere. But now you get to do all the things that you talked about at the bar that were never going to happen with your bar friends. Uh, Now you can do the girls' trip, you can learn sign language, uh, whatever it is that you always wanted to do. You actually start to put the wheels in motion to make that a reality. And, once you're getting out of bed in the morning with a life that you don't need a vacation from, it's a game changer in all aspects of your life. Then the universe is my higher power. The universe starts giving you blessings because you're behaving morally and ethically and you love yourself, and it radiates the way your dysfunction rippled out in all directions. Now your self-love and authenticity ripple out in all directions. You don't know what I'm talking about
hmm
now because you've never experienced it, but you will in sobriety,
hmm
and that's what gives you hope.
Absolutely. Very, very well said. There are so many good points in there. Really, what it comes down to is when you are feeling helpless, that's what Susan and I would call a victim mentality. So, if any of you are familiar with the drama triangle, it was originally developed by Dr. Stephen Cartman. So, those that are stuck in addictive behavior are typically feeling like victims. They feel helpless. They feel that their life is out of control. They have no control over their lives. Generally, it is always because of a persecutor. That persecutor could be a horrible husband or a horrible wife or a horrible partner or a horrible boss, a horrible job, whatever the case may be. There's always something that is keeping you down. And in addiction, there's always a persecutor, there's always a victim, and the victim's always looking for a rescuer. And right now, those with addictive behavior, that's the rescuer. That's the thing that you're relying on. But what happens with that? Once that feeling goes away, once that addictive behavior is over with, the problems are still there. So you're in this vicious cycle of trying to um, numb yourself from whatever the pain is. That's the helplessness. What Susan was talking about was being able to make that distinction, to move away from that victim mindset to what we call a creator mindset. So look at the hope, look at the future. Don't get stuck in what you're doing now. Don't get stuck with focusing on where you're at, but try to focus on where you're trying to get to. So that girls trip, the sign language, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And you take those baby steps moving forward to get there. A lot of that is in Susan's book, Susan's memoir, which is called Nada to Prada. This is all 95% Susan and her story of redemption through addictive behavior. And then I've added a little bit to it with regards to some of our work together in recovery coaching. And now we're bringing it to everyone else. What you're going to see in January is dry January. Susan and I are going to be doing 2 workshops. One is going to be January 2nd at 7 p.m. The other is going to be January 4th at 2 p.m., both Eastern time zone for whoever is listening to this, wherever you may be. So all the times that we talk about are going to be Eastern time zones. But those workshops are going to take a deep dive into the breaking the chains process, which Susan has been through, and now we're bringing to everybody to help you live the life that you deserve to live, away from
Yes.
the addictive behavior, away from the helplessness, and moving into hope.
Yes. And I would say the best way I would describe it now that I'm out of it is a victim mentality is like a lower vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even realize it, but you're only hanging out with other victims, other enablers, and abusers. Those are the people at this orbit of existence. When you get sober, love yourself,
Mm-hmm.
find your niche of authenticity, you're now orbiting here. You are
Mm-hmm.
now among a group of people that lift you up instead of tear you down. You
Mm-hmm.
are now you have positive momentum. You have attracted people that will provide positive momentum. In a victim mentality, you are attracting people that provide negative momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And negative momentum, it's in the wrong direction and it's still momentum.
Yeah.
So the only thing you can do is, like in a car, switch gears and head towards empowerment. Because when you're empowered, again, the universe unfolds for you as it was intended to do when you are walking empowered. The universe is not going to grant you things, in my opinion, or you will accidentally sabotage them when you're in victim mode. And
Yep.
so,
Yep. Absolutely. And very important, because this is really, really hard. But when you start your recovery journey, there's going to be some people that are not going to be along with you for the ride, because
no,
some people are going to be working against your journey to get into sobriety. What you want to do is, what you're going to have to do is let go of some relationships, let go of some places you're used to going to, and
yeah,
doing more of what supports you and not what is holding you back.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we are just finishing up this second episode. It is so cool that we're doing this. The book is
Yes,
out. The workshops are coming. Uh, Anyone out there who is sober curious, who is, kind of on the fence, on terms of their commitment to a better life, now's the time to jump in with both feet.
yes,
Keep following us. Our information to connect with us is going to be at the end of the video. But Susan's website is sobrietyinsightcoach.com. My website is coachjoepanito.com. And go out to those pages. Send us an email. Let's talk about just a conversation, just to see where you're at and if breaking the chains is a good fit for you. So until next time, this is Coach Joe and Susan Eileen. I was trying to send
all
it off
right.
to you. So, but
Oh,
that
yeah.
was kind of
Yeah.
that was kind of
All right.
impromptu. So, Coach Joe and Susan Eileen, signing off for now. Hoping you have an amazing day today. Bye.